in this country. And justice means that we are going to end the institutional racism that exists all over this country. So in the midst of all of the big disparities, we also have racial disparities. We have white families owning 10 times the wealth of black families. We have infant mortality rates in the black community 2.5 times higher than in the white communities. We have black businesses who cannot get the loans they need to expand. We are going to change that, and we are going to lead the effort to end racism and discrimination in the United States of America. And I want to say a word to the young people who are here and the young people of this country. You are the most progressive generation in the history of the United States of America. I am proud of you, and you should be proud of yourselves. You are the most anti-racist, anti-sexist, anti-homophobic generation in the history of this country. But there's something else about the young generation, and that is, if we do not turn this economy around, for the first time in the modern history of our nation, your generation will have a lower standard of living than your parents. Now, there's something weird about that. We're seeing an explosion of technology. We're seeing an explosion in worker productivity, and yet everything being equal, the younger generation will have less income, they'll have more debt, they'll be less likely to afford a home. Well, I don't believe in downward mobility. I've got 7 grandchildren. I believe in upward mobility. And we are going to create an economy that works for all of us, including our younger generation. But brothers and sisters, this campaign and our presidency is not just about economic justice, it is about political justice as well. Now, to my mind, when I talk about democracy, I'm talking about one person, one vote, not about billionaires buying elections. Brothers and sisters, we are going to end a corrupt political system which allows the very rich to get richer because of their political influence. We are going to overturn Citizens United. And we are going to move toward public funding of elections. And I'll tell you something else. You know, the other day I was roundly criticized for saying something that I think is common sense. And that I think that every American citizen, because of their citizenship, should have the right to vote, even if they're in jail. I think the right to vote is what being an American citizen is about. And if you commit a terrible crime, you're going to pay the price. But that does not mean that your right to participate in our democracy is taken away from you. I was roundly criticized by this, but you know what? Once you begin taking away somebody's right to vote, you're moving down a slippery slope. You committed a crime, you can't vote. You're poor, you can't vote. Remember 100 years ago, women in America didn't have the right to vote. Remember, 70 years ago, our African American brothers and sisters had to put their lives on the line to get the right to vote. Remember the poll taxes all across this country denying poor people the right to vote. And what we are seeing now, and make no mistake about it, this is what Trump is about, and this is what Republican cowardly governors all over America are about. See, these guys don't have the guts to run on their principles. They don't go before the American people and say, hey, I'm a proud Republican. I'm going to cut your Social Security. I'm going to cut your Medicare. I'm going to cut Medicaid, and I'm going to give tax breaks to billionaires. That is not an ad you're going to see on TV. But what they will do, whether it is in Florida right now, people in Florida voted by over 60% to allow felons, people who served their time, to vote. And the Florida legislature trying to rescind what the people did. I came from New Hampshire the other day. They are working overtime to make it harder for young people to vote. In the state of Georgia, an election was stolen. Because people did not have the right to vote and they were denied access to the polling place. So what we believe, unlike our Republican friends, we are not afraid of our ideas. We think that people support our agenda. We don't have to suppress the vote. In fact, we want more people to participate in the political process. So our view on voting rights is very simple, and that is, if you're an American citizen and you're 18 years of age, you have the right to vote. End of discussion. Now, what this campaign is about is not only bringing forth an agenda that works for working people, but it is also about a political revolution which understands a very profound point, which is encapsulated in our message of not me, but us. And that is, Nina Turner made this point. If we want legislation to protect working families, we're going to have to stand up and fight against some of the most powerful special interests in the world. The greed of corporate America and Wall Street and the insurance companies and the drug companies and the military industrial complex and the fossil fuel industry is such that no president can do it alone. We're in this together. And when we talk about a political revolution, it means that in this unprecedented moment in American history, we all need to act in an unprecedented way. That means, this is what it means. It means going out and talking to your friends, even if they don't agree with you. It means getting people registered to vote. You know, we got a couple of thousand people here. If each one of you registers 3 people, that makes 6,000 people registered to vote. And the reason we need to do that, the reason that we need to put together an unprecedented grassroots campaign, is that I know the day after the inauguration, we'll have all of these special interests uniting, trying to prevent us from doing what the American people want. But this is what I also know. The 1% has unlimited wealth, and they have a hell of a lot of power. And I may not be a prize-winning mathematician, but I do know that 99% is a bigger number than 1%. So let me just tell you a little bit about what a progressive agenda means. It means that we are going to tell the private insurance companies, whether they like it or not, that the United States of America is going to join every other major country on earth and guarantee health care to all people as a right, not a privilege. Tens of thousands of people in America are dying every year because they don't get to a doctor when they should. People are going bankrupt when they go into a hospital. And at the end of all of that, we end up spending twice as much per capita on healthcare as do the people of any other nation. The goal of healthcare must be to provide quality care to all in a cost-effective way, not tens of billions of dollars in profits for the insurance companies and outrageous compensation packages for their CEOs. Listen to this. In 2017, the top 65 CEOs, healthcare CEOs, made $1.7 billion in compensation. CEO of Aetna managed to get a $500 million bonus for putting together a merger between Aetna and CVS, which will raise healthcare costs.